This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so the owners of Madison Square Garden were looking to build an exact replica of the Las Vegas Sphere, but build it in London. It was going to cost them £800 million, or the equivalent of, to build it in London. As a return, it was going to be a 21,500 capacity. It was going to create over 1,000 jobs and bring in an annual revenue of around £50 million per year. It's a 300-foot sphere. Now, it's going to be built predominantly for fight nights. I can presume boxing, hence this video, plus maybe some UFC, MMA, maybe WWE come over, however, okay? Now, you could look at it and say, but does London really need it, considering you've got the O2 Arena, that's 20,000, so just a little bit shy of that. You've got Wembley Stadium, you've got the OVO Arena, you've got plenty of arenas in that there. Do you really need it? There's that way to look at it. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, because now it's not going to happen in London, because the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has blocked it. And the reason why he's blocked it is because some protesters who are moaning about it, I don't live in London, okay, maybe they have good reason, I don't know. But I spent a lot of time in London, a lot of time, hence my accent. I was born in the Northeast, I currently live in the Northeast, but I spent a bit of time away, hence my southern accent, all right? So I'm very familiar with London. Now, apparently these protesters managed to garner, if I read it correctly, between 1,000 and 2,000 signatures on a petition to block it. And the reason why is because it was going to take 3 years to build, so during those 3 years, due to construction, it's going to create some shadows over some homes and block out some kind of light. And once it is complete, due to the fact that they're planning on covering this sphere in LEDs, moving LEDs and whatever else, which would look absolutely amazing, but like an all year round Christmas tree, wouldn't it? Apparently it will create something called light pollution. I'm not an expert on this kind of stuff, maybe some of you are. You can explain a little bit more to me on it. But as I said before, I'm very familiar with London, and I've been to London many, many times. In fact, I lived very, very close to London, okay? So I'm familiar with it. Now, London, with the underground rail, with the airport, which means aeroplanes permanently flying backwards and forwards, the amount of buses that they got there, standstill traffic all the time due to the amount of cars and things like that, and you're worried about some lights creating pollution. I think there's bigger things to worry about when it comes to pollution of London. As I said, I've been to London many times. London, beautiful in parts, really beautiful, and it's busting, absolutely busting. I'm surprised that they even find room to build a 300-foot in diameter sphere for this arena, with the amount of football stadiums, the House of Parliament, Big Ben, the big old pointless Ferris wheel, and whatever else along the Thames River and whatever. Okay, but London's very, very grey. It is very, very grey. Why? Because there's a lot of history there, which is good. I love history, with the libraries, museums, and the old buildings and whatever else. Beautiful place. But it could do with brighten up a little bit. And I think something like that would brighten it up a little bit. But they don't want it because of something called light pollution. But apparently they are going to go ahead with it anyway, but going to put it on somewhere else in the UK. Where? I don't know. Newcastle would be great. Listen, if it's going to put up 1,000 jobs in the city, bring it on. Bring in £50 million revenue per year for the city. Bring it on. And the fact that it will bring in a lot more tourists in that as well. Bring it on. Put it on in Newcastle. Why not? We've got plenty of room in certain parts of Newcastle and everything, and we would be very appreciative of it. We would. We're not going to whittle about a little bit of light. We need a little bit of light, okay? We're not going to whittle about some pollution, whether it's genuine or not, I don't know. But again, you could look at it and say, well, does London really need it? I mean, with the amount of things that they've got, people outside London will probably look at it and go, oh, here we go, London's getting somewhere else and we're not. So good. Let somewhere else have it. Let another city or a town have it. Put it on in my city of Newcastle. Put it on in Liverpool. Build it in Manchester or Birmingham or Milton Keynes or Northampton or Leicester, wherever. Okay, there's plenty of places to build it. That would be very appreciative of 1,000 jobs. Very appreciative of that 50 million. Plus the tourists that it's going to bring in as well. Could be something to look at, that's for sure. Certainly better than a big old Ferris wheel. That's for sure, right? And why not? Why not? And the fact that it's meant to be for fights as well, predominantly for fights at least anyway, that's good. It means that boxing has got another home to go to. So not most fight nights are going to happen in London. Because when you're living in Newcastle like I do, it's a bit of a trek, okay? It is a bit of a trek. So something a little bit further north, that would be great, okay? Because we could benefit with that. I don't think London really can. Now, I don't know if these protesters are the majority. I'm going to presume it's a minority. Usually the minority are the ones who whittle high enough. But again, this kind of arena would, of course, boosted the value of homes, wouldn't it? So bring it to Newcastle. I wouldn't mind my home being a little bit more valuable. That would be great. All right? Oh, well, London's lost. Somebody else has gained because they're still going to build it. But now they're not. Not in London, at least, anyway. Because the mayor doesn't want it, because the mayor agrees with what I'm presuming is a minority due to light pollution. Don't want light in London. Heaven forbid. Can't call it the smoke anymore. Drop your thoughts below. Click on the subscribe. Catch you next video.